Hey, this is Todd from Snap Fresh Farms, and here to do another video for my YouTube channel, Snap Fresh Farms. So please subscribe if you'd like, and there's lots of other videos to watch talking about my indoor gardening and also my outdoor gardening. So I first want to start out outside here in my outdoor garden. It's currently about 95 degrees out here, and the tomatoes are they're growing since the last video I did, and they're doing very well. I'm keeping them watered very well too, so that they keep growing, because this heat is really something else. But I just wanted to give you kind of a walk through the garden and show you how things are going since the last video. And then I'm going to bring you inside, and I'm going to show you how the indoor garden is going in my basement with all my lettuce and the Swiss chard and other things that are growing. So I just wanted to kind of give you an update and say hello. It's been about a few weeks. This is my my Give Blood shirt, so if you're willing and able to give blood, that's something that I would say go out there and do that. There's lots of people who need blood, and it's kind of an advertisement, but it's free. And I thought I'd throw that in there because I think it's a good thing to give blood and give people life that need it. So thank you for watching, and here we go. Just kind of a walkthrough through the garden, a bucket garden growing here. Buckets, have got tomatoes. I've got different types of tomatoes. I've got beefsteak tomatoes. I've got cherry tomatoes, and I've got Roma tomatoes. You can actually see there's some cherry tomatoes growing in batches, which is good. I've got Romas growing. Let's see if we can find some Roma tomatoes. There we go. And you can see them growing right out on the tomato plant there. I've also got my peppers are growing. I'm starting to see pepper buds on the top. I've got some cucumbers that are planted. I will see how they do because it's kind of late in the season to plant them, but I tried anyway. There's some beans growing in here, and just a whole bunch of beans. I've already started harvesting about 15 to 20 beans from each plant each day, and then I got my tomatoes growing. So I've got my first actual orange tomato for the season, and you can see it right there, and it's growing with some friends there, so I'll be picking tomatoes really soon. So that's the outdoor garden. Now let's bring you inside, and I'll show you how things are going in there. And before I bring you into the basement door, I just wanted to show you something that I'm doing this year, which is working out really well. I've got a rain barrel that hooks up to my gutter, goes up to the roof, all the way up to the roof, and the rainwater comes down off the roof and it goes right into my rain catchment barrel. The barrel has a spigot on the bottom here, and I put the hose right on the spigot when I want to water my garden, and it's working really well. It's giving me a lot of water. It's a 50-gallon barrel, so you can get 50 gallons out of it. It fills up. Usually every rain I get it filled up, so it doesn't take much. And I've got it on a kind of a cinder block stanchion, and the reason I do that so that I can get the height of the water over the height of my garden, which is literally about, I would say about 2 foot. The height of the garden is about 2 foot below what the height of the spigot is. So it does a really good job. Gives a little bit of water pressure, and it works out well. So here we are in my basement gardening set up on my 5 shelves. Got my hydroponics system going here. And I would say that I'm pretty much at the peak right now. Lettuce is just growing like crazy. It's growing really well. I really have everything kind of dialed in as far as the pH level and also the nutrient level. I've got absolutely pure green leaves all the way across the board. I've got very little problems with the growth, and it's going really, really well. I think one of the things that's really helping is I covered the buckets with that plastic, the black plastic that keeps the light out, and I think that really helps the roots and the growth. I've got some kale growing over here, and that's doing pretty well. We're waiting for that to grow up and become a little bit better than baby kale. And then down here I've got lettuce growing. I've got curly lettuce, and it is just going crazy in this bucket. This bucket has about 2 inches of soil in it. I've been putting nutrient in here, and it's literally growing right into the lights, and I got to pull the lights up every day it seems I've got to pull the lights out of the lettuce. So it's doing well. I've got some growth going here, not so well. I think the seeds weren't too good that I planted here, but it's I'm just gonna let this grow and see what comes out of here. Right now it's only about 2 weeks of growth, if that, and the seeds didn't do so well growing. And then coming up here, I've got my rainbow chard, which is just growing, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing. And that's also in about 2 inches of dirt, and I'm putting nutrient in there. Got some things growing here. I got some basil. I decided to try to plant some salad greens in a small container. Basil's growing up now in a container. I've got another one growing here. And then I got my Pingicula gigantea, which is getting gigantea. It's eating voraciously the gnats. So I've got lots of fungus gnats that are in here. But the fungus gnats are dissipating very quickly, and they're getting stuck on this plant here, and it's feeding. This is about 4 times the size it used to be when I first got it, and it's growing well. I've got some butter crunch lettuce growing in another bucket, and that bucket is going gangbusters with the butter crunch, and we're harvesting this every day, and it just keeps growing and growing into the lights, so I have to keep harvesting it. And with the butter crunch, Swiss chard, some kale, and the other lettuce that we've got growing, we're harvesting this for salads, and we just keep eating it and eating it, and it's the best thing in the world for you. So with just literally, we're going with 3 shelves here. I took one of the shelves out so I could get more space for my lettuce growing hydroponically here. And if you want to see how this is growing or how I set this up, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's Snap Fresh Farms, and you'll see how I set this up, what it costs. There's lots of videos on this. You'll also see the latest video, the latest video showing the growth from the last video till now, and I'll try to keep up and send you more videos so you can see how things are going. So have a good day, and thank you very much for watching. Bye.